What's up guys, it's Drac, and today we've got a note. Howdy ho, Drac. Here's the smaller thing. Captain Slug. P.S. Looking forward to this blaster being the very first in your Dishonest review video series. Well, let's get it on. What is this thing? Is this a fire extinguisher? That sure is what it looks like with its weird rubber nub, and it's, you couldn't put a spring in it? I mean, it's got all this elastic on it, which is just clearly inferior. I bet it costs too much money anyway. Then we've got this W here, which is an obvious ripoff of my Fang logo. I mean, this is hot garbage. There's absolutely no merit to this whatsoever. Look at how funky this downward prime is. We've never seen a blaster like this before. It's like a 3D printed Jolt. Who wants a 3D printed Jolt? And then when you fire it, you've got this monstrous thing sticking out the handle. Like, handle prime is super weird. And then the performance, I mean, I guess it hits hard, but like, it's not that great. The barrel material is an interesting choice, being clear. I guess you can see whether or not you're loaded. But I mean, overall, like, did it really need two different elastic bands? One to actuate this super funky trigger mechanism, and one to actuate the actual, or I guess both of them. Yeah, you got two bands on here providing all this power. You couldn't do it with one? What's wrong with you, Slug? This is ridiculous. I can't, guys. Alright, Slug, you get the first, like, 50% of a Dishonest review. This thing is clever. It's very neat. The priming mechanism here coming down, and then the trigger being held with torsion here, and then you pull the rod forward, which lets the plunger shoot up into the priming bar's like catch mechanism. Is super duper funky. Like, there's a lot of design DNA from the Caliburn in this. Obviously this is very similar to the trigger guard there, and then the trigger itself nesting into it is super funky. I got mine done up in Drac colors with a neon orange barrel, so nobody would know my little fire extinguisher here was anything that I guess it isn't. I'm going to try and fire some half-length darts, but to do that, I'm going to need some sort of ramrod to get them in there. Sort of funky. Thanks, Cumbaloy. Whoa! Alright, we got to take it downstairs. We got to put it over the chronograph. As much as I wanted to give you a Dishonest review, Slug, you're the first person to ever ask for one, and hopefully it was amusing for the 30 seconds that I could maintain the charade, but we're going to have to make Mad Squid, Glad Squid, because this thing is cute, it's cool, and it seems to be delivering the hits. World's first 3D printed Jolt. Let's go. So we're out here with the Whisper. I think your mileage is going to vary based on how many bands you have, how tight those bands are. That is the nature of stringers like this, elastic power. But we're going to go ahead and load up an AccuFake. 96, not a joke, boys. This is a regular Elite. 90. Let's put this Elite down range, see what happens if we take it out here. Woo! We caught a leaf there and still fired pretty hard. So I want to fire a couple of worker darts. In particular, I want to see what happens if I... Alright, so we don't have a good enough barrel seal to vacuum load. I was hoping I could double feed these. That's tough. So we put two in. Let's see what happens. Oh, shotgun. Awful spread. Neither one of them went the way I was going. They went 3 feet either direction, but actually pretty decent. So let's fire some single ones and see how that would perform. So that was a slight hiccup with the catch mechanism. Obviously it's lightly variable there, and then we'll fire over here. 89, and that was only half seated because my hands are too big to get into the barrel any further than that. So 91, not bad, Slug. So at first I thought this thing was a meme. I thought Slug is making a 3D printed Jolt because he wants to make a 3D printed Jolt as a joke, but I think this thing's actually like pretty war practical. This could be a very fun pistol round blaster for the SE&C. I'll try not to break the 180 rule in my YouTube video. And That's not bad at all. Fires half lengths, fires full lengths. This is a funky little fire extinguisher, but I really dig it. And this is a very innovative solution to a very funky, not really a problem. And if it ever wears out, the plunger is symmetrical, so all you would have to do is slide the bands off to the side, rotate it 180 degrees, and you'd get another X shots of life out of it. But overall, this is not bad. The Whisper is cute. I like the built-in handguard. I like the variable colors. And the craziest, coolest thing about this, guys, is that the hardware kit is only $7. That means that this is realistically, if you have your own 3D printer, about the same price as a regular Jolt, but a cool homemade version of a Jolt. If you don't have a 3D printer, it's real Slug product that you can get for real Slug prices of really only $20. Now, is $20 for a Jolt ridiculous? Sure. But I've seen people with Jolt collections spend way more money buying stupid micro shots, and I think that this is way cooler. Innovative, funky catch mechanism, super comfortable trigger. The plunger being a grip means that you're gonna want decent sized hands. This is not a blaster for tiny children. However, Slug will probably post a video of like a baby velociraptor firing it just to prove me wrong now that I've said that. But overall, this is a sweet blaster. I wanted to give you a dishonest review, Slug. I really did, but it's not in me. I gave you half of one. I think that this is a sweet pickup, a super cool hardware kit, and definitely something that I would throw in my rucksack for funsies rounds, or not quite awfuls rounds. I mean, it's really just a sweet single loader pistol round blaster, but it packs a punch. Pistol. Anyway, I'm going to give up on the alliteration jokes, and I'm going to just say that this one's sweet. I'll link to Captain Slug down in the description box below, but we did it, boys. We've come full circle. The community made its own Jolt. Much love, Nerf on Drac out. Jinx. 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 Come on, we're trying to make a YouTube video. You gotta go.